Hey, what's up, and welcome back to the Squeaky Clean Shampoo. So before we get into the demonstration video, I just want to go over 5 key points. First, we're going to give every client a consultation. And the reason why we're going to do this is because we want to find out if they have any products in their hair like wax, grease, edge control, and maybe even some glue. The reason why we want to know that is because that's going to determine which shampoo we select at the bowl. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to examine the hair. So when we're examining the hair, we want to make sure that we comb through it thoroughly and check the scalp to see if there's any scalp condition or buildup. Next, if we do discover that the client does have some type of scalp buildup, we want to make sure that we scratch the scalp. This is going to help us to slough off most of the buildup prior to actually shampooing the client's hair. The fourth thing that we're going to do is we're going to shampoo the hair twice. So I know that it's kind of popular for clients to come with their hair already washed. However, for the ponytail, I will suggest that you wash all of your clients when they come in. The last thing is rinse, rinse, and rinse some more. So I cannot stress enough that hair that is not clean is very uncooperative. Let's go ahead and check out the shampoo video. So let's go ahead and check out my technique for getting the hair squeaky clean. I always like to start with thoroughly rinsing the hair until the water runs clear. This is going to ensure that my first shampoo lathers up really nicely. During the consultation, my client stated to me that she had been using Gorilla Snot for her ponytail for about 2 weeks. And so I knew that there was a bit of product in the hair and I knew that it was going to require a little bit longer of a rinse than normal. So that's what you're watching me do at this time. I want to make sure that the water rinse is clear before I move on to the next step. For the sake of time, I did not show in the video both of the shampoos. However, the technique is identical. The only difference is with the first shampoo, I'm using a cleanser. And then with the second shampoo, I'm using a moisturizer. I always like to start by building up my lather, especially at the scalp. And then I'm going to start doing scalp manipulations. So again, my first shampoo and my second shampoo are exactly the same as far as the manipulations are concerned. The only difference is which product I'm going to be using. When I'm doing the manipulations, I have 2 main things in mind. Number 1, making sure that I'm scrubbing the scalp and getting all of the hard to reach places like behind the ear, the neck area, and really focusing on the middle of the hair because that's usually the part where there's a ton of product buildup, especially when you're talking about a gel ponytail that's been in hair for, longer than just a couple of days. And that's just because of the technique that the clients use. They generally just tend to just continue to put more gel and more gel and more gel and more gel, never taking it down to actually redo it. And so, of course, when you use that technique, you're brushing it back into the ponytail, and so it's causing a lot of buildup in that area. One thing that I would like to point out is I do make sure that I clean the strands and the ends of the hair, and I do that simply by just making sure that I'm getting that good lather and stroking down on the ends and on the hair strands. And then also too, in order to get the back, I just like to make it simple for myself. I raise the client up in order to get that area and to give it a really good scrub over, because again, I want to make sure that I'm getting in that middle area and getting in the nape area. Also that I'm scrubbing the scalp all over, just in case if the client does have a scalp condition or some type of dandruff. So here you can see me demonstrating the technique that I was telling you of stroking down the hair. So I am using a little bit of pressure. I'm not pulling the hair or making it uncomfortable for the client, but I am applying enough pressure so that I can get the ends and the strands of the hair clean. When I'm rinsing, I like to use a method that I call pull and spray. So I'm not literally pulling the client's hair because of course I don't want them to be uncomfortable while they're laying back in the bowl, but I just simply lift up the hair and move it to the side, and I allow the shampoo hose, the water that's coming out, that pressure, to part the hair. So I'm able to get in the middle, get behind the ear and really get all of the product out of the hair so that the hair is again so that again the water is rinsing clear so that I'll know that I'm ready to move on to the next step. Now, while I'm rinsing, I am constantly filling the hair and I'm trying to see if there is any area where I feel maybe like the hair feels a little sticky, or if it feels like there's some type of product or the shampoo or the conditioner is still in the hair. I like to fill it for myself just to make sure that I'm getting all of the product out. Now we're on to the conditioning portion of the shampoo, and I don't wring out my client's hair before I put in the conditioner, because the conditioner that I use is highly concentrated, so the excess water actually helps to break it down. Next, I'm going to use a basic shampoo brush to go ahead and continue to evenly distribute the conditioner throughout the hair and detangle the hair. I'm going to be checking the scalp to see if they have any type of buildup still on the scalp, or if my client did state to me that she had like some type of glue or anything like that. At this point, I'm going to be looking for that in the hair and in the brush as well to make sure that I got all that stuff out of the hair. So once I'm done conditioning and combing it through, I give it one last good comb through. And again, if this client would have stated to me that she did have some type of glue or some other type of product buildup in her hair, I would check the brush before I begin to rinse. So here we have the conditioning rinsing. And again, I'm just pulling and spraying through the hair. And the water, of course, is coming out milky because it's still a lot of conditioner left in the hair. So I'm just going to continue to rinse until I can get that water to run clear. Also, I'm rinsing and filling the hair because I want it to get to the point where it feels squeaky clean and it feels exactly the way that it did after I did the cleansing shampoo. That's what I'm going to be looking for. So I'm going to be looking for clear water, and I'm going to be filling for very squeaky clean hair. Rinsing from the roots down to the ends, and of course getting the nape area, making sure that I'm covering all bases and that there won't be any product buildup or leftover in the hair. My average shampoo takes about 15 to 20 minutes depending on the length of the client's hair and depending on, what were the answers to those questions that we went over at the top of the module. Do they have any product in their hair? Do they have any glue in their hair and things like that? So that's all going to determine the time. But my average time for a shampoo is about 15 to 20 minutes. So now I'm just about done. And I just want to say, the shampoo is what starts off everything. So we just want to make sure that we get this part right, because once the hair is clean, it's going to be so much more easier for us to manipulate the hair and get it into the style that we want. And of course, in this case, it's a ponytail. So I just wring the client's hair out gently with my hand, and then I'll also towel dry the hair because I want to make sure that there's no hair dripping on the floor or hair dripping all over my client. And then I'm going to move on to the blow dry segment of the service. So I just want to quickly recap what we've gone over today. First, give a consultation. We want to make sure that we're using the correct products. Next, shampoo all clients. So clients washing their own hair just doesn't get it as clean as when a stylist does. And then lastly, when in doubt, rinse, and rinse some more. For our action steps, we're going to fill out the product evaluation sheet and list the shampoos and conditioners. Ask yourself, do you need to add any more, or do you need to change any? And lastly, practice. So be sure to give each client a consultation, even those who are not getting a ponytail. And the reason why we want to do this is because we want to create a habit so that way it's second nature if it's not something that we're already doing, because we want to make sure that each shampoo that we give, that we're using the proper products. So that's all for today's lesson. I'll see you guys in the next one.